So today we're doing a deep dive into a very specific piece of hardware, one that claims to solve one of the most annoying moments in any modern meeting.
The breaded cable fumble.
Exactly. We're looking at a Kramer VS-211H2.
Yeah, it's kind of a mouthful, isn't it?
It is, but looking at the specs here from HDTV Supply, the promise is actually pretty simple. It's a 2.1 UHD low-cost auto switcher.
Which is really just a fancy way of saying it's a small box.
A very small box, one that promises to automate your 4K video switching and just disappear under a table.
Right. And the whole mission here is invisibility. This thing is designed to make that awkward start to a meeting where everyone's plugging and unplugging laptops. Just go away.
Okay, so let's get into the mechanics. At its core, it's a 2x1 switcher. Simple enough. 2 HDMI inputs, 1 display output.
Yep.
But the auto part is what I'm interested in. How smart is it, really? Because, auto switching can sometimes be a total nightmare. It jumps when you don't want it to.
That's a huge concern, and they seem to have thought about it. Kramer gives you 2 different switching modes to handle that.
Okay.
The first one is last connected. It's pretty much what it sounds like. You walk into the conference room, plug in your laptop, and boom, the switcher sees the new signal and puts you on the screen.
So that's the intuitive mode for a meeting room where people are coming and going.
Exactly. But then there's the other mode, priority switching.
How does that work?
Well, this is for setups where you might have a permanent room PC. You set input 1 as the priority. So as long as that computer's on, it owns the screen.
But if it goes to sleep or something.
Right. If that PC goes to sleep or you unplug it, the system automatically starts looking for a signal on input 2.
So it's basically a fail-safe. If the main presentation PC crashes, you can just plug a laptop into the other port and take over immediately without hunting for a remote.
You got it. It minimizes that dead air.
Now, whenever I see low cost in a product title, and we can get to the price later, I get a little worried. I expect corners to be cut, especially on video quality. But this thing lists 4K at 60 Hertz with 4.4.4 color sampling.
And that 4.4.4 part is actually the key thing to notice here. A lot of cheaper switchers, they compress the color information to save bandwidth.
Which is fine for a movie, I guess.
It's fine for video.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is terrible for computer text. You know when you see an Excel sheet on a big screen and the red numbers look kind of blurry or fuzzy?
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's usually because of lower color sampling. So 4.4.4 means no compression. Every single pixel gets its own full color data. The text stays perfectly crisp.
Which for a presentation switcher is non-negotiable.
It should be. And it also supports HDR10 and is HDCP 2.2 compliant, so all your modern copy-protected stuff just works.
Okay, that brings me to the feature that really caught my eye. It's called IE Pro. It sounds like complete marketing jargon. Is this actually doing anything useful?
I would argue this is probably the most important feature in the entire box. eDie, that's the little digital handshake your laptop does with the TV.
Right, where it says, "Hi, I can output this resolution." And that's usually where everything breaks. The laptop gets confused, the TV gets confused, and you just get a black screen.
Precisely. This Kramer Intelligent eDie processing, it intercepts that handshake, it learns what the display can handle, and it basically pretends to be the display for the laptop.
So it tricks the source into behaving perfectly?
It completely manages the connection. It locks it in so you get that instant plug-and-play feel instead of the screen flickering while it's searching for signal.
So the box is basically a diplomat between two devices that don't speak the same language very well.
That's a perfect analogy. And it does the same for audio, too. It passes through uncompressed stereo signals like Dolby True HD, DTS HD, all the good stuff.
And it does all this in a Digitools fanless enclosure.
The fanless part is key. You stick this in a small huddle room, you don't want to hear a little fan whirring away in the background. It's silent.
Let's talk value then. The MSRP is $400, but it's listed at HDTV Supply for closer to $320.
Yeah, around there.
For a home user, that might sound pretty steep for just an HDMI switch.
Oh, for a home user switching between like an Xbox and a Roku? Absolutely, just buy a cheap dongle.
Yeah.
But in the professional world, for a device that does 4K 60 Hertz 4.4.4 with this kind of intelligent ED data management, $300 is actually very, very competitive.
You're paying for reliability.
You're paying for it to just work every time. It's an industrial-grade tool. It's not a consumer gadget.
It also has those little contact closure switches on the back, so you could wire up a physical button on the table to switch inputs, right?
You could, yeah. If you don't trust the automation, or if it's part of a bigger control system, you still have that manual override. It gives you options.
So the verdict then, the VS-211H2 is really all about removing friction. It's the invisible bridge between all the messy, different devices people bring into a room and the one screen everyone needs to see.
Yeah. I mean, if it's doing its job right, you should never even know it's there.
Yeah.
But it does bring up an interesting question to think about.
What's that?
Well, we're relying more and more on these little black boxes to manage everything for us. As tech like this intelligent ED gets better and better at masking compatibility problems, are we losing our ability to actually troubleshoot?
That's a good point. When it just works, you completely stop understanding how it works.
And when that black box finally does fail, do we even remember how to fix the handshake ourselves anymore? It's just something to consider.
A little food for thought for the next time you plug in an HDMI cable. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.